Patrice Matson works for a company that uses a percentage method to compute income tax withheld. Patrice is single and claims 2 allowances. Each allowance is $63.46 each week. She earns $480 per week. Find the amount of income tax withheld. So remember, our first step is to always think about the problem. Start by asking yourself, what is this problem asking me to find? And in this case, we need to find the amount of income tax withheld. And now before you dive in, just keep considering what we already know. So we know that Patrice is single and claims 2 allowances. What else do we know? We know that each allowance is $63.46 each week. So that's going to affect the amount of her taxable income. We also know that she earns $480 per week. We also know that she earns $480 per week. Okay, so we know where we're going with this problem. We know the information that we've already got. Now let's consider the formulas we're going to need and plan out how we're going to figure this out. So we're going to need to, here's our plan, we're going to need to use this table which breaks down the tax based on what bracket you fall in, based on your earnings. So for example, if you have taxable wages of $51 but not over $195, this is how your tax is computed. If you have wages of $195 but not over $645, there's a different bracket. And another one, if your wages are over $645 but not over $1,482, okay? So our plan is to use this table to help us find the amount of income tax withheld. However, before we even start with income tax withheld, so this is our final goal, income tax withheld, we need to know the amount of money that is taxed. Okay, what is her taxable wage? So we're going to leave that income tax withheld blank for a moment, and we're going to figure out her taxable wages. So this is going to be her gross pay minus any allowances. Now, we know that her allowances, she has 2 of them, and each allowance is $63.46 per week. So her allowances are 2 times $63.46. Her gross pay is $480. So we're taking her gross pay and subtracting off those allowances, and we find that her taxable wages are $353.08. $353.08. So now we ask ourselves, where does this fall in? $353 is over $51, and it's also over $195, so this is not the correct bracket. $353 is over $195, but not over $645. So this is how we are going to compute our taxes. So it's $14.40 plus 15% of excess over $195. So the income tax withheld is equal to $14.40 plus 15%, which I'll write as a decimal, of 15% of means I'm going to multiply, of the excess over $195. So what is our excess? That means how much higher than $195 did we go? So if our taxable wage is $353.08, we'll subtract off $195 to find out how many dollars over $195 we have. So $353.08 minus $195 is equal to $158.08. So this is our excess. So we'll plug that in here. So our final equation is that our income tax withheld is equal to $14.40 plus 0.15 multiplied by $158.08. So this is going to find us 15% of $158.08, and then we'll add $14.40 onto that. Okay? So this comes out to $14.40 plus 0.15 times 158.08 is $23.71. So our final answer is that the total tax withheld is $38.11. Okay, so quick review of what we did. We read the problem and then we thought about the information we were given. We kept our eye on the thing we were trying to solve for. We made note of all the information we were aware of. And then we made our plan, which was simply to first figure out how much taxable income there was by subtracting allowances off of the gross pay. And then once we had that taxable income, we were able to just use the table and compute the tax as it told us to, which gave us a solution of $38.11 for income tax withheld.